you doing, folks? I wanted to do a little bit, and we're just gonna, just a talk. You know, this is a tomato, but it isn't the only vegetable you can possibly eat. I grow great tomatoes and other produce. But, you know, kind of what I'm thinking is we really need to establish a national self-reliance and buy local. There is nothing wrong. You know, I've, like I said earlier, you know, I've had some trolley kind of people act like I'm trying to do something evil by growing these tomatoes and some of my other produce. And excuse me, I'm a smoker, so I'm going to smoke. And so I grow my produce, and you know, and I farm this stuff, and you know, I'm not growing produce to run a charity store or anything else. But you know, we really need to think about our future. You know, our grandparents, you know, 100 years ago, all gardening was organic, because these chemicals that Monsanto and such want us to put into our soil are not natural. You know, if you really want to make good nitrates for your soil, there's a simple process for that. You burn firewood, make charcoal, and pee in it. It makes some of the best nitrate fertilizer you could ever buy, ever. You're not going to buy it because nitrate fertilizer is chemically produced 100%. But you know, the way you make these nitrate fertilizers is literally charcoal and pee. I know it sounds gross. Oh my god, it sounds so gross. Like it, oh my god. But anyway, that's kind of how that works. Now, you know, I don't take a crap on my tomatoes or pee on my tomatoes, but I also do not use false chemicals on any of my produce ever. I use the old ways. I grew up, you know, my grandmother and my Aunt Mary and several others that I learned how to do this from. They're not Mennonite, they're basically brethren. You know, you can look that up. It's called the Friends Church, but they, you know, they're very agricultural based and very basic based. You know, it's not like Amish or anything. Not that Amish are bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just, you know, the whole point is working within your means, self-supporting. You know, people go, well, the Amish don't use electric, the Amish don't use this, the Amish don't use this, the Mennonites don't use this. Well, there's a reason for that, because they don't believe in paying taxes. And we could go all into that. And, you know, I have no religion whatsoever. I'm not interested in religion. But the point I'm trying to make is, you know, there are communities out there really probably not so far from you. You know, like me. I work with the Amish and the Mennonites for vegetables, and I grow plus what I grow myself, and stuff like that. But you know, there are a lot of people out there that, and they don't believe, they don't use chemicals, they don't use anything that's taxable, etc. So, you know, mostly what my talk is about is, you know, self-reliance is kind of important. You know, there might be a day coming soon. I mean, you know, and I'm not talking about apocalypse of the entire world, but, you know, I mean, you could live at a bad spot or where something could happen. You know, I've been through hurricanes and, well, mostly hurricanes, because I used to live in Florida, in which the wind and the water takes everything you own. Everything. Bye. picks up on the roof of your mom's house and goes thump, 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 and it's all gone. So, you know, the apocalypse is not really a worldwide thing to me. It's like maybe your area, you know, like Hurricane Sandy, you know, Louisiana, all that kind of stuff. You know, you got people standing on the roof shooting at helicopters and stuff. You know, it's what the. Okay, you know, so, you know, self-reliance, and it isn't just like one of those crazy prepper things that people want to think about or think that people like me are about. It's not about that. It's about saving money. Quite honestly, I save a ton of money. I run a produce stand, I farm, I do this. All my food's for free because, or all my produce, not meat or eggs or base staples, but you know, all my vegetables are for free because I grow them. Then, you know, whatever expense that I have spent growing those vegetables is pretty much offset by running a produce booth, and then I make a little bit of money and stuff like that. But of course, don't forget this. I have these trolley assholes on the internet that just think because I don't give my food away, there's something wrong with me. Listen. All right, if you have a backyard garden and you got more than you can eat, giving that away, that is an applaudable thing. You should give that away. That is awesome. That's sharing with your neighbor. But if you're doing something like I'm doing, in which I am commercially farming, commercially buying, commercially selling, this is my livelihood. And it's a little bit disgusting that people get irritated that I would do such a crazy thing as not work for a corporation or not work for a business or something like that. I am my business. So, anyway. This is the little talk I wanted to have with everybody. You can do this. And I wish everybody would do this. Get more self-sufficient. Grow your own food the best you can, even if it's a container garden. You know, if you live in the city, you can do this. You know, I mean, really, a indeterminate, there's a tomato plant. There's two types of tomato plants. There's determinates and the indeterminates. But the indeterminates will grow until frost kills them. So you can keep tomatoes going. Same thing with cucumbers, same thing with all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not a vegan by any stretch of the imagination, but I like my vegetables. I love my vegetables. There is nothing, and although I'm a diabetic, there is nothing better to me than sitting down with one of those big old freaking baked potatoes with some sour cream and chives and all, and some real butter and all that stuff on it. Complex carbohydrates and fats. You know what? Your diabetes does not care about that because it's complex carbs and fats. And figure out a way to add in some fiber behind that, it just offsets all of that carbohydrate, because carbs are 100% offset gram for gram by fats and fats and fiber. Yeah, I'm not saying, okay, let's see, I'm going to eat 500 pounds of Mapo and follow it up with a Sprite. That might not work out so well because your body will eat sugar before it will eat fat. So if you stop eating sugar in all ways, and I'm not talking about complex sugars like in your fruits and stuff like that. I'm talking about sugar, white sugar. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Your body will burn the sugar before it'll burn the fat, and that's why you get fat if you are constantly consuming sugar. So anyway, this talk is extended into something that I didn't intend to go into. But, you know, folks, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to get done. I'm building a hoop house. I'm looking for investors or donors or anything to help me get this done sooner rather than later. I can't take a loan right now, but I need to get this hoop house done. So if you'd like to donate, you know, I've seen crowdfunding go down over like sunglasses and I need my asshole bleached and, you know, stuff like that. I'm doing crowdfunding for feeding America with real food the right way. So that's what I'm doing right now. And you're looking at me in all my glory and all my crazy mismatched glory. I'm a real man, I'm a real person, trying to do a real thing. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. If you listen to me, and I'm gonna jump up and creep around the camera and put a stop to this. Thank you.